We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy Monday to you. I guess the was underwater for a little bit. What a great way to start the week, huh? Hey, everybody, welcome to the black era of Side Scrollers. Let's go.
We was black and shit.
Whoa. Wow. Okay. We were the white era of Side Scrollers. All right.
Now we're white supremacists.
Oh,
now what happened
stop
was
it.
your audio was pretty good. You were just a lot lower than the music for some reason.
Well, I started way back here and then I brought it back in.
Yeah,
But yeah, welcome on out, guys. How are you, Blabs?
I'm good. Listen, I have a really fun shirt and I want to show it off because it's the OG Dalmatians.
So here's the thing. Nobody else cares.
Never mind.
I'm just...
It's a really comfy big sweater. It's like so comfy.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's great, Blabs. I'm glad you're super comfy. You're super comfy cozy.
Yes.
Oh, good for you. Well, I'll tell you, somebody who was absolutely super comfy cozy with their coffee ready to go. I can just feel it right now. He pulled up got his computer pulled up, put his big old thermos of coffee down right there ready to go, and is joining us on the show today. It's our boy Yellow Flash. How are you, Flash?
Well, let me tell you something, Blabs. No one cares about the Dalmatians.
I know, it's really sad. What kind of coffee did you get today?
Oh, it's delicious. It's a peppermint chocolate cold brew.
Wow.
Are you a woman?
God.
Apparently my coffee tastes are, yes.
My God.
Gay!
Holy shit, man, you're more womany than I am.
It's so good, though. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like chocolate chip mint ice cream.
But like,
so long, gay boys.
yeah.
It's my favorite.
What kind of ice cream? Like the Good Briars ice cream or like absolute garbage dollar store ice cream?
No, I like the shit that's made with real ice cream. It's a real ice cream.
Okay, well.
Get it right, Blabs.
I mean, this man is drinking ice cream with peppermint coffee or whatever it is. So like, I don't know how right I can get it.
Well, I'll tell you what. We could do peppermint coffee talk all day long, but we're not going to today.
Yeah, see, look at Rodimus Primal. Mint chocolate chip rule.
Listen,
Yeah, ice cream, not coffee. Hi, Roddy.
I agree. Like,
why do we have to hate on things that taste good? It's like the people that say, well, I drink beer. It tastes like ass crack. Why can't I just enjoy my strawberry daiquiris? You
know, that's a great question. More men should be able to enjoy ass crack, right, Flash?
No.
Oh, sorry. That's what you're going for right there.
No.
Sorry about that.
Are we talking about
shaming
plumbers?
people, you're shaming men that like to drink, good coffee and good drinks.
No, we listen, we're not going to shame that at all here.
So anyway.
Well, look, we got a great show for you
Like
guys.
stuff.
We are off to a rip-roaring start today, as Dan Vask will be joining us today as well in just a few minutes. He was having some car issues, and apparently they don't know how to drive.
He's also a woman, too. Look at that. We have the peppermint coffee, the car issues.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, look.
Well, Dan Vask, I mean, where he lives, They put like bicycle tires on your car.
The bicycle built for two.
But we got a lot to talk about today. The Game Awards, as we are live right now, they are announcing their nominees for this year's Game Awards, which nobody cares about. But we definitely have a lot to talk about with them today. And the good old Geoff Keighley and all the pushback that's been gone. By the way, I'd like to thank them for that ridiculous idea of copywriting Game Awards. It was really great for us as we had massive numbers this week and a brand new members signing up, voting members over at therealgameawards.com. But we'll get to that in just a little bit because I do have a proposal for Geoff Keighley, which I'd like to share with you guys a little bit later. If we're going to do it, we need to do it publicly. And I want to make sure everybody's aware of it because we're going to get to that. But first, I'd like to remind everybody we are live over at Rumble. We also have that X account, which we are not live on. I don't know why, but we can't push live to X right now. So sorry, X. But you can find clips of the show and all sorts of good stuff over there, including on our Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
Yes, we have an Instagram account. Follow us there for memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, Yellow Flash is going to drink the worst coffee ever.
That's right.
Okay.
Black coffee.
Blah.
Yeah, I can't do that either. I need some type of sugar in mine.
Speaking of the Game Awards, I can't wait for Dragon Age to be nominated for Best First-Person Shooter as well as Best Racing Game.
Well, I'm very excited to see.
Like race.
That's
Take me a
awesome.
second.
We're gonna get in there. We're gonna check it out. I'm very excited because they just tweeted out every single one of the things. So we're gonna get to their awards.
Oh yeah,
we'll get to that very, very shortly. But once again, this is the Black Era. We have officially changed our background to black. How's that look, Flash? A little more appealing to the eye, dark mode, if you will.
I like it's edgy.
Yeah, and we are edgelords here. That's kind of what we do. Mm-hmm.
See, I told you it looked the best on Friday.
It does. It looks sharp. Yeah, it looks nice.
This was a Blabs idea. We was black and shit.
Way to go, Blabs.
Yes.
All right, excellent. But we got that coming up today. Oh, also, if you guys want to watch the show over on Spotify today, starting today, you can over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're going to be uploading the video version of the show over there, not just the audio version, but you can listen to the show there as well. And of course, the Side Scroller Shorts channel, which is blowing up beyond belief. I actually don't know that. I'm just speaking hyperbole right now. But if you guys want to go over there and subscribe to the Side Scroller Shorts channel, find clips of the show that are totally out of context, you guys can find it over there. And of course, head over to sidescrollerspodcast.com and become a member over there. If you like free-flowing, fun, daily laughing at stupidity, we really appreciate that. Of course, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, join the 107,500 just normal men who have found common sense in the video game space. We're closing on that 110, which is outstanding. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and join us. And let's do our best to scroll your little mouse over to that thumbs up button and hit that thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. That's great.
I just checked the shorts. We're really close to 350 subscribers. So
cool.
Subscribe over there. Links are below, guys.
Yeah. I mean, like it's just kind of like a fun little thing we have. It's not really meant to be a
.mp4.
Yeah, throwing out all the MP4s and stuff. But hey, Casual Gaming Mad Lad came in with the tins. As I've always spoken to my wallet when it comes to the nonsense, and after all this shit Geoff is pulling, I decided to the same for the Real Game Awards. I am now a member to nominate and vote. Shout out to you, Blabs, and your weekly guest. You have my support. Well, appreciate that.
Not Craig.
Not me. No, but that's okay.
You're fucked.
Yeah, but look, we do have a lot going on with that, and we appreciate you voting with your wallet over there, becoming an annual supporter over there. Once again, you can use promo code SIDESCROLLERS, get $5 off your voting membership. Like I said, we had over 100 new members sign up over the weekend, which was spectacular. So we're in it deep now. The next 2 months, we are in it because the show will be in January, and I have been putting my nose to the grind when it comes to this bad boy, and we are blowing and going, as they say. Speaking of blowing, Dan Vasquez joined us.
Speaking of blowing, what? I'm sorry I'm late, everybody. It was totally my fault. You know when you don't drive for a long time and the batteries on your car get fucked up? Mm-hmm. You're supposed to recharge the batteries of your car if your car is like, if you don't drive it for, I don't know, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And because of my accident, I didn't drive for like 1 month, and I went for groceries today. The car took a long time to start, so that was already a sign But then coming back, my car it just wouldn't start, and I had to do that thing. What is it called when you have to connect your car to another car's battery?
Starting.
Jump it, yep.
Jump starting, yeah.
Wait, after sitting for a month?
You had 1 month. Yeah.
Wow. What kind of cars do you guys have out there? Like the Cuban cars?
Little scooters.
Little Lego blocks.
Is that a long time? Is that too long? Like for that to happen?
Yeah, a month's a long time. You know, you probably should turn on your car. At least turn it on.
I feel like over the summer I've let my car sit for longer without driving it.
Wow.
Like my car is from 2013.
Oh.
And if I spend 2 weeks without driving, normally I turn it on, leave it on for like 20 minutes. But this time I forgot. Totally my fault.
Before I had the little one, I was always I would take my motorcycle everywhere. So, like during the summer, I would barely ever drive my car.
You know how awesome that sounded right there? Before I had the little one, I take my motorcycle around everywhere I went. with your leather jacket on, where you're popping it like
I
the
do
Fonz.
have a leather jacket, but I rarely wear it because it's so fucking hot.
Would you go into a place and be like, "Hey, Flash," and like,
no, that's
because you should. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Phoenix became a brand new member. Phoenix, great to see you. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Cajun Corey came in with the 5. Says Mondays suck, but you know what doesn't suck? Boobs. That's right, Cajun Corey. You are a normal man, and you understand that. Speaking of normal man, says I would pay money to see a side scroller stream that's truly underwater. Well, interesting you say that. Maybe we can get to that someday. That's a hint. The worthy one says, yeah, that's totally gonna get clipped. Blabs, lol.
What'd I say? We was black and shit. Oh, sorry. All right.
Jason came in and says support for when Blabs gets you demonetized. Yeah, that's gonna happen one day. Norm came back, says in Brazil, if you blink in front of your car, do the tires instantly disappear?
Oh yeah, gotta be really careful every time.
Yeah. Sky Reaver says, Craig, why don't you get Starlink so you don't turn into a robot and lag every episode? Love this show. I've actually considered Starlink.
It's pretty good. I have it.
Oh yeah,
for the cottage house that my family has out of town, and it works pretty well.
Wow, I was thinking about getting one as well, just for like, because I've had streams. I stream once a week, and a couple of times I've had where the internet would go out, and if I had Starlink as a backup, I wouldn't have that problem.
You just have to have a pretty good location without anything, like no trees, nothing, like on the highest point on the roof of your house, something like that. So if there's anything on the way, then it doesn't work properly.
Okay. By the way, did anybody pick up on the humble brag that Dan had, where he's like on our house out in the, whatever you said, our summer house or whatever it was?
My family has a cottage. It's not a big deal. It's like in the middle of nowhere. It was dirt cheap.
Yeah, it's when your family just has a cottage in the middle of nowhere.
Barely has electricity.
I barely have a cottage there.
It's like they keep like a hamster in a wheel outside.
We literally don't have running water. We have to dig a well for water.
Is that how you poop?
No, we have those big holes on the ground. How is it called?
A hole?
No, it's like it's more nuanced.
You just dig a hole in the ground and then put dirt over it.
It's more nuanced than that, but just a little bit.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Anyway,
thanks, Dan. I'm glad we got through poop talk to start the show. All right, look, we got a lot to go. We got a lot to talk about today. Like I said, the Game Awards, everyone's favorite corporate overlords have spoken, and we are going to react to their nominations in real time in just a few minutes. So yeah, we got a lot going on today, and I'm very excited that you guys have joined us. So before we get into all that, Blabs, please fill us in on today in video game history.
Okay, happy birthday! We have GameCube releasing today in 2001. Yeah. We have the Wii U releasing in 2012. And then Pokemon Violet or Pokemon Scarlet, your pick, was released 2 years ago today in 2022, which is why in the poll on YouTube side, I asked, slap the like button for GameCube or the Wii U, and most people voted for the GameCube. The end.
GameCube is a great console.
Oh, wow, the GameCube, man.
I like that. That's always cute.
There you go.
And I have good memories of the Wii U. I don't hate the Wii U.
I need to get a Wii U because in 20 years, the prices on the Wii U will be like in the sky because it didn't sell very well. So that's always the pattern. I should
Especially
get
if you get
Wii U now.
A special edition Wii U. I have the Wind Waker Wii U.
It's like the Wii U in 20 years will be what the Virtual Boy is today.
You think so?
I agree.
I think
he's right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, some noticeable games that you missed today, Blabs, include Chrono Cross for the PlayStation 25 years ago.
25? Chrono Cross?
Final Fantasy X2.
Got nothing on Trigger.
For the PlayStation 2. Manhunt for the PlayStation 2. 13 for the PC, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. Sonic Unleashed 16 years ago.
Is that the one where he becomes a werewolf?
Yes, that's the
that
werewolf.
game's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. New Super Mario Brothers U 12 years ago.
Yeah, that launched with the system. Mm-hmm. That was the reason I bought it. I was like, oh my God,
funny it is that
high definition Mario.
How funny is that something called New Super Mario Brothers is like 2 decades old?
Yep.
That was such a stupid name.
And it didn't age well.
It did not. The game did not age well. That's going to be looked at as like the dark era of Mario games. Like they were fine, but they weren't great. They were like par for the course, all that entire look and feel of those games.
People are triggered in the chat at me because I said Chrono Cross is mid. Sorry, but Chrono Trigger is probably one of the best RPGs ever made.
Bro,
and that game as a follow-up is just nowhere.
You can absolutely say
Chrono Trigger.
You can absolutely say that it doesn't even touch Chrono Trigger, but that the game is mid, it's a completely different statement.
You tell me you would have played that game if it wasn't called Chrono. If it didn't have Chrono in there, you would have still played it?
I will probably never heard of it, yes.
Yeah.
But that also doesn't
all
mean
of the
it's
Chrono
mid.
Trigger references from that game and tell me it's still an amazing game.
Some other games
what are all the Chrono Trigger mentions on that game?
Well, didn't they find the car in that game? The little ship? You find it abandoned?
What?
Hey, you know what game has not been abandoned? Is Dragon Age Inquisition, also 10 years ago, and Little Big Planet 3, also 10 years ago.
Little Big Planet 3?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there you go.
Yikes.
There's your today in gaming history. So great stuff right there. Thank you for that, Blabs. Hey, a couple new members, including Zachary and Mr. Big. Thank you guys very much for becoming supporters of the channel. And also JK says, I trademarked Kojima's lover boy to own Geoff. Good luck with that, JK. Congratulations. Hopefully it turns out well. DB says, DV, Dan Vask, please do a cover of Jace and Wheeled Warriors.
Wheeled Warriors?
I don't know.
That sounds fun.
John says, as a huge Mike Tyson fan, that fight last Friday was painful to watch. Well, that is on our run sheet today. So how about we just get right into that real quick? Did you guys see the fight, the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight the other day?
What was it set up? What do you guys think?
No, I think his knee was fucked up and he lost his footwork. And he's also 58 years old.
I think he's 58 years old.
People don't seem to realize, like, put yourself up against yourself when you were 20. You beat the shit out of yourself. Like, there's just, fighting is a young man's sport. It is.
I'll say that anything is a young man's sport. Like, I play basketball.
Well, what about golf?
You're still better when you're younger, for sure.
Is golf a sport?
Yes. There's a lot of technical stuff with.
If ping pong is a sport, golf is a sport.
Yeah, but ping pong is like you're physically moving out of breath. Golf, you just stand still.
I see.
Golf still takes some skill.
Oh, you gotta walk. Listen, it's called the little ATV crap that they use on the golf carts.
Well, either way, yeah, it's a golf cart, Blabs.
Get that.
Either way, like, so I play basketball with these guys on Thursday night, and they're all about my age, maybe a little older, right? And the game, so when I play basketball with them, it's incredible. Like, it's slower paced. We walk the ball up. Very rarely are there fast breaks, right? And our skill level is what it is. But I'll also go play with these guys who are about 10 years younger than me, and the game is sped up like 200%. So imagine me being 15 years younger than I am right now and playing against somebody literally half my age. I would get my shit kicked in. But I do think that there was an element of of show to it for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And there was this rumor about like the rules that were going around.
Yeah. Here's my thoughts on that. Where's the actual source? All I've seen is some TikToker yelling at a screen.
Right.
Where is this actually coming from?
Yeah, and you're 100% right on that for sure. But so yeah,
I was more shocked that so many people were picking Tyson to win. He is one of the best boxers of all time, but I mean, he's 58 years old with a bad knee.
Right. At a certain point, you're like, yo, dog.
Half of the fight in boxing is footwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I 100% agree. Dan, did you watch the fight?
I watched it, and I also saw some compilations, which was like I was at the same boat as you guys. I was like, yeah, 58 years old. The other guy's 26. There's no way. There's no need to set up anything. But then I started to see some video compilations on YouTube of Mike Tyson holding punches, like literally, like his face was Jake's face was right there, and Mike Tyson was like, oh,
yeah, he kind of pulled back a little bit.
There are compilations on YouTube, so I don't know, man. It's definitely not enough to say that the fight was set up, but it makes you go like,
right. Well,
what I'd really like to see happen is that Andrew Tate fight.
I saw that video.
I'd like to see that fight. Now that would
be so awesome.
That would be fun because of all the kayfabe leading up to. Because both of them are tremendous shit talkers.
Yeah.
So imagine them just shitting on each other for an entire year.
That would be so entertaining.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Well, it was definitely a show, and the women's fight was spectacular. They didn't just fight of the night for sure. That was great, but. It's a shame that one girl won.
Women's boxing and MMA, two women's sports I absolutely respect.
Hey, when it comes to women's sports, women's soccer is great, right? Women's tennis is great.
Women's figure skating.
Women's figure skating is great. Yeah, there you go. Women's equestrian.
Yeah, I would not say soccer is great. Women's soccer.
I agree, Blabs.
Women are better figure skaters than men.
No.
They make it look better because they're way more flexible. Like, it's so much better of a show.
Women's volleyball is great.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Thank you, chat. Thank you. Now, look, I say soccer.
Chess.
If it was like women versus men, yes, the women would get their shit kicked in. But women's soccer still looks like soccer, right?
No, Craig. Look up some compilations
Gymnastics
on YouTube. Like,
I know.
Women's soccer fails on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's
all women suck at everything. Okay, how's that?
Even like gymnastics, like women are better at that than men.
Well, no, it's different categories.
Anything with flexibility is better with women.
So if you look at the categories for gymnastics, men and women have different like events too. So, and I've seen videos where like these professional Olympics try to do like men's ones and vice versa, and neither one of them can do each other's events because they're just not trained for it either.
All right. Well, it was definitely an event for sure. I think we can all agree on that.
I just want to point out that it took me up until 2024 to find out that Jake and Paul are two different people. So we're getting there.
I got a friend that was the same thing. It was like,
I had no idea.
Different dudes?
I just kept thinking I was like getting the name wrong every time.
It's Jake and Logan, not
whatever
Jake
the hell
Paul.
his name is. Yeah, that guy. I kept thinking it was two different people because I don't care about these people and their stupid lives.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And they both look retarded.
They look like dumb fucks. They look like white trash who are gonna beat the shit out of you. No,
you know when you look at someone's eyes and you go like, there's something missing there.
A soul.
Well, they're rich. I'll tell you that much. They can promote the heck out of things. So good for them. Hey, Norm came in, says the nominations for Game of the Year are game no one played, game no one liked, game everyone liked, and a buggy mess game. And the winner is game nobody liked, B-list celebrity guest at the Game of the Year Awards. That's right. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. We're going to react. Have you guys seen the nominees for the Game Awards?
Oh, I'm excited.
No. Okay, we're gonna look at that in just a minute. But holy crap, let's go. Jay came in with a $50 super chat. Says Chrono Cross was overcomplicated.
Thank you.
Overcomplicated a story that was already complex. I still want a Chrono Trigger remaster with a remix. Playing one.
I want Chrono Trigger 2D HD remix like they did with Dragon Quest. I would love to see that game remade in that HD 2D engine that they do.
Well, Jay, thank you very much. This playthrough 1 would be the same as the game is now. New game plus plays off the multiple endings idea and lets you change things like playable Shala.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy story. Chrono Cross has an insane story, but Chrono Trigger is like, bro, that PS1 version with the anime, it's so amazing. Nick.
I have that.
Bro, it's so amazing, man. It doesn't expand the story itself per se, but it's like it expands the way you see those characters so much. It's so awesome, man. Definitely recommend to play that version.
All right. Well, we could talk Chrono Trigger all day, but Jay, thank you again for your super chat. That's massive. By the way, it really pops against the black background. Same with Joey right there. It says the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight was rigged. There's a rumor going around that says Mike Tyson took a $20 million paycheck for losing the fight.
It all comes from that TikToker that was yelling at the screen. I don't think that's real.
John came into the 10, says, good news, Craig. I was able to dodge jury duty today, so I can watch the show live. Hope you show Geoff how to do a Game Awards show right. Well, thanks, John. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, we're about 2 months away, and I got a lot of work to do, but I'm confident. I'm confident in what we're doing and the approach that we're taking, for sure. We're going to get to his nominees here in just a little bit. Salts of the Girth came in, says, just some normal, innocent support for some normal, innocent men and Dan Vasque. I love your music, Dan. Mike Tyson's interview with that little girl was 3 million times more entertaining than the fight. Did you see that? The interview?
Yeah, I saw.
It got a little too real. Yes.
That's no legacy.
That's right.
That's nothing.
Right.
The little girl was like, okay.
You die and it's nothing.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
We're dust, little girl.
And John came back and says, just here to say that Corridor of Time is the best OST, hands down. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Grateful Gamer also says, how soon we forget. Did we forget that the dude who made silver at the Olympics shooting competition, like golfers, those Olympians just stand around too, Blabs? What about archers? Watch Happy Gilmore. Thanks, Grateful.
Yeah, but the really, really cool archers also ride horses too.
Bonus came in and says, Geoff Keighley is proof that we need a gatekeeper hobby. I hope his pick for the year he calls awards implodes in his face. Well, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it right now. So the Game Awards, let's hold on. What am I doing? It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. Holy crap. It's time for hard news. Hard news. All right. If it wasn't as convenient as a trademark being filed for Game Awards, the Game Awards have conveniently announced their nominees right when our show started. Convenient? Interesting. I don't know.
He's watching you.
Of course he is. You kidding me? With that said, hey, Geoff, great to see you. I look forward to creating a great alternative to your corporate dribble. With that said, let's check out their nominees for the game of the year, as well as several other categories. Now, I'm going to pop this up on the screen right now as we go along. Just a quick reminder that you guys can become voting members at therealgameawards.com using promo code SideScrollers right over there by Dan. I'm just going to keep that up there the entire time, Dan. So keep staring at that. But sorry, Dan. Womp womp. But here we go. This is I'm going to. Sorry, Dan. that didn't work as well as I hoped it would. But here they are. Here's the Game of the Year nominees.
Elden Ring doing in there?
DLC.
And I love Elden Ring, but that came out last year.
Yeah, it's the DLC. It's for
Shadow of the.
So DLC is a Game of the Year now?
Yes, they've changed the rules so that DLC can now be considered a Game of the Year. But I want to point out that this is actually an updated tweet. So when they announced the nominees for Game of the Year, they called Black Myth Waking. And then everyone's... you can check the private chat. I trolled them. Basically, they realized their mistake after everyone was trolling them, and they changed the tweet to Black Myth Wukong.
Did you... Oh, in the...
Black Myth Waking!
Hold on. We gotta share this.
So it's a little trolling.
They misspelled
Where's Stellar Blade?
Yeah, Stellar Blade is not included on the Game of the Year.
So that's the newest version, but the old version, which I have a screenshot. Let me find it. Here. I can grab it for you because I don't think it's... Yeah, it's not going to show you. Okay, here's mine. Here's the original. Black Myth Waking.
Nice. There you go.
So I screen grabbed it, and I was like, shout out Waking.
Once again, these were totally written by a PR company, for sure.
So my thing is they probably did it with on a mobile device, and autocorrect changed Wukong to Waking, and they didn't realize it.
Best Action nominee, they have 5. And here's one of the things about our award show at the with the Real Game Awards is that we're not sticking to just 5. Like, we will have some categories will have 3, some categories will have 6, some categories will have 5. Some, it ultimately comes down to, like, our jury is you. So, if there's 6 nominees, there's 6 nominees.
Wait, where's where's Dragon's Dogma 2? Like, how is, like, I'm still blown away by that DLC getting put in there. Like, they're missing a lot of shit for Game of the Year. Dragon's Dogma 2 came out this year. I'm just going over their releases, and, like, that was a huge game, and it got great reviews. So a lot of people like that game.
I will tell you this. I know for a fact that we're going to have 8 nominees for Game of the Year. I know for a fact we will.
Echoes of Wisdom, that's not even nominated. Yeah, that should have been Game of the Year too. That's a contender. That's a great game.
That's best action adventure nominees. So
yeah, but I'm saying that deserves to be a contender, at least nominated.
We did not get nominated for Content Creator of the Year, unfortunately.
I don't even know who those people are. Like, I know I live like under a rock, but who are these people?
Yeah, I've never heard of anyone.
Yeah, I've never heard of any of them.
Blabs, can you just do a little quick searching and see how many of them have pronouns in their bio?
Oh, boy.
All of them.
just a quick glance. Best RPG right there.
Wait, what does it? Go back up to the RPG one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, there's Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma 2, yeah.
Yep.
I don't have a problem with that
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
So this goes back to the idea of
Echoes of Wisdom should be in there over that.
Right. It has the DLC, which this is the disclaimer that they had about how DLC is considered like its own thing, right? And we've gone back and forth of that with our board, the idea of, like, should DLC be considered? No. Yeah, and that's the general consensus is, like, no, it shouldn't be, right? It's if you need something else to play it, then, like, if a game has already been released and you get DLC or an expansion for it, then the original thing is like the release date on it for sure. So, most anticipated game: Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, GTA 6, Ghost of Yotoi. So there you go. We got all those. Best independent game. They will definitely have more categories.
What was the multiplayer one? Go ahead.
Best multiplayer: Call of Duty, Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2, Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, Helldivers 2. So
okay.
Just wanted to point out that all those content creators, none of them have pronouns, but I couldn't find one of them either. Just saying.
The best creators that you can't even find some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I couldn't find one of them.
Some exclusive Indian platform or Chinese.
Well, yeah, one of them was like Japanese. So I guess they went all over the place. But yeah, there was a couple of options and I didn't know which one was who. So couldn't find them.
Well, I encourage you guys to head over to therealgameawards.com. And once again, the people voting, I cannot stress this enough. The big difference is 100% of our vote is built around our voting members. I don't have a vote in this thing. I'm not voting in this thing. Our board is not voting in this thing. Only you vote in this thing. There's no access media that is voting on this thing. We're not bringing in IGN. We're bringing in you. You are our journey. 100% of the vote is catered to you guys, not 10% like Geoff's award show. And I think that Geoff will change that moving ahead because I think he sees the blowback of that. And I think that will be a good move for him in the future. But I think that he's going to stand and realize how fucking stupid that is. The idea that only 10% of the vote is weighted by the gamer's choice. That's just insane to me. But look, like I said, head over there, use promo code SideScrollers, get $5 off. People say, why do you need to pay? It doesn't make any sense. The reason you have to pay is, well, number one, put some skin in the game. Number two, to cut off corruption with any stuff. Right? You don't want one dude creating 20 fake accounts and voting a million times on these awards. So it's like a membership to be a part of it. And we also don't want sponsors. Like, we don't want corporate sponsors. I had somebody go like, hey, why don't you just go get NVIDIA to be a sponsor? Because when you have a corporate sponsor, then you have corporate expectations, right?
Your mic keeps cutting out. Turn off your echo cancellation.
Yeah, I tried to tell you in private chat, so I didn't interrupt your speech.
Oh, thank you.
That's if you have headphones, you should have everything off. Auto volume off, echo off, everything off.
Am I back?
Now you're just super quiet.
Yeah, usually it quiets you down, so you have to compensate.
Boost.
Yeah.
Boost me, Blabs.
Speak, boo-boo.
All right,
Boost me, Blabs.
Well, so what I'm saying,
I've put you at maximum. You're on 200 and it's not doing anything.
All right, I'll pull myself up this way. Am I better now?
Yeah,
just a little bit more.
Okay. A little bit more. They say a little more. They say. How's that? Am I blasting out the speakers now?
It sounds like the same.
Okay.
No, do a little bit more and you'll be good.
Check. Here we are.
Hey,
check,
sound
check,
good.
check.
That's
okay,
fine.
Sounds good. All right. There you go. Thank you.
And the quality sounds much better.
Oh, good. That's excellent. Well, thank you for that.
Sound like an all-star radio host now.
Hey, all right. Here we go. But I will say this. We're going to talk about this a little bit later on. But I made a couple purchases this weekend. I don't know if you guys saw this over on X, but there were a few things. And before I get to those purchases, this does tie into the Game Awards. I don't know if you guys saw, I ratioed the Game Awards this weekend or actually specifically Geoff, when he says, what's your prediction for the biggest snub in the nominations tomorrow? I just said the gamers. And we ratioed Geoff, which was very nice. So that's good. But you can also see down here, I made a couple domain purchases. The first one being thegameawardssuck.com, which you can go to right now if you'd like. I also purchased thegameawards.sucks, so you can go to that as well. But I have a proposition. I have a proposition for Geoff Keighley here. I bought these domains, and I would like to offer them to Geoff. I will offer them through a transaction of sorts. Number one, I would like to offer each domain for $250,000. Now, why $250,000? That is the amount that Geoff Keighley charges an indie dev to, or any sort of dev, to run a commercial or a trailer on his show. $250,000.
That's fucking insane. That's a lot of money.
Yes, that's insane. Or I will trade him each domain for one 60-second spot for the Real Game Awards during his show. So Geoff can own these domains, and all he needs to do is make a nice little trade. So just going to offer that up right now. So Geoff, if you're tuning in, reach out. If you want to own these domains, you absolutely can. Otherwise, everyone can go to thegameawardssucks.com or thegameawards.sucks. There you go. Thought that'd be fun. Will it happen? Absolutely not. But just thought it'd be fun to do. So with that said, you guys ready to move on? Oh, yeah, no. I think that's it. Okay, cool. Let's keep moving on. But before we do, check it out. Kyle came in and says, not gonna like Craig. I don't understand why your award show needs to exist, but now I do. Outside of world premieres, not looking forward to video game awards. Also, what's the purpose of a pride activist group? I don't know. Well, Kyle,
annoy everybody.
I'm glad you asked that, Kyle, because that's like, people are starting to wake up why this award show is needed, and that's exciting. I'm very excited that people are warming up to the idea of why this thing exists. So yeah, thank you for that, Kyle. Appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Blabs, you wanted to talk about some movie stuff, right? Oh, Blabs is gone. Or is she? All right.
What?
Blabs, you wanted to talk about this Wicked stuff?
Oh, sorry, I was turning on the other light. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it.
Sure.
Okay, so I don't even know what role she's playing, this woman, but she is the first ever iteration of the character bound in a wheelchair. And now, because like last week, it was all about how being super queer was like the bestest thing ever. Now they've moved on to disabilities as like a PR tactic, and I thought it was really funny. And I honestly just played the clip or like the video or whatever it was that Disper shared, and it's perfect.
All right, here we go. This is Marissa Bode on being the first wheelchair user in her role, which would make sense because she's the only one to play that role, whatever role that is. But, well, I guess maybe...
Well, no, because on Broadway, no one ever was in a wheelchair.
Oh,
That's what they're saying. She's like, I'm the first one ever. It's like, okay.
What a great thing to be known for, not your talent.
That's right. Congratulations. Let's see what she has to say.
It means so much to me to...
And I realize it's low, but that's as loud as we're going to get.
So much to me.
Like her integrity.
To be a representation for so many people out there, so many disabled people out there, and to hopefully let them know to advocate for themselves, ask for your accommodations, never feel like you're asking for too much, and to do your best to
you can't ask for
follow
too
your
much.
dreams and yeah, make other disabled friends along the way, because community is also important.
Fuck you.
Wow.
What's the role?
Something in Wicked, but
something Wicked.
The wheelchair lady.
I'm curious if it makes sense for the character. Probably, my bet would be it doesn't. But I'm curious to know which character it is.
Okay, hold on. Just legit question. Does it also help that she's smoking hot? She's attractive, right?
It's probably part of it.
I don't know. Her personality turned me off immediately.
It's very. She comes off as.
And we're zoomed in. I'm getting Facebook vibes right now, like catfish.
Hey.
I mean, that's got to play a role in why she was hired, right? Gotta be. So
yeah,
just
bro,
saying.
It takes such a low self-esteem to accept that kind of patronizing culture as a disabled person. It's just. It eats your dignity alive. How do those people put up with that?
Well, no, I take it back. There is a benefit if you were to date her because you would get first-class parking everywhere you go.
Hey, absolutely.
Hey.
If you look at the comments, there are tons of them saying like, "I'm in a wheelchair, and that's not what I want to be known for."
Exactly.
And so, like, she's just making a sham out of everything.
Press X to doubt.
Of what?
Right.
That's not what she wants to be known for, because making she's making it all about that.
No. I'm saying there are comments from people around the world who are in wheelchairs saying that that's not what I want to be.
Usually,
sorry.
People
I see.
People that have these disabilities usually get very irritated at people doing this shit. Like the people that make these wheelchairs and Dungeons and Dragons. None of them are disabled. It's all like able-bodied people thinking that, this is definitely what they want when they miss the point that the fantasy is to not be in the wheelchair. Right. So, like, the thing they're not going to want to do is roll around in a dungeon in a fantasy world in a wheelchair. It's stupid. And it shows you just how tone-deaf and out of touch all these people are.
Well, speaking of tone-deaf and out of touch, let's go to our next Hollywood blockbuster, Gladiator II. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard a whole lot about this movie, but it is, from what I understand, it's more of the same, but it's like the most unnecessary sequel ever, right?
Yeah, just the fact that it exists, it gives me cringe cancer.
But apparently there's a lot of stuff that was cut in this movie, including a kiss between Denzel Washington and another man. So let's go.
That's a good thing to cut out.
Well, I'll tell you. Let's find out. We've seen this guy. What's this guy's name? Blabs. Who's?
Oh, Marky Martin, something like that.
Is this the guy that's always like, "How gay is it?"
Yes. Here we go.
Okay. That's his job to be gay.
Is how gay everything is.
Variety. Where's your gay guy? Here he is.
Yep. Let's check it out right here. Let's see what he had to say.
Got to ask you about the Denzel Washington kiss. Everyone's talking about the kiss He kissed a man, didn't make it into the film. Denzel said, like, he thinks.
Grieving scene didn't make it into the film either. It's not homophobia.
You see how quickly they ran cover for it? She's like, this didn't, my scene didn't make it in. She's like, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's okay.
Why does she go to that right away? Like, that's pretty bad.
Those people live and breathe that sort of thing.
That is so
Because
sad.
she's terrified. Because she's terrified.
She knows what he's doing.
Yes,
Wait,
absolutely.
who is this lady? Because she looks like discount Kaylee Cuoco.
That is Lucius's mom, I think.
Oh, it looks like
she was
Penny
in the
from
first
Big Bang
one.
Theory.
She's in the first Gladiator. I think I don't know her name, but this is I think this is the Emperor's sister.
Well,
Lucius's mom.
She went straight into defense mode, straight because she knew what was coming.
Grieving scene didn't make it into the film either. It's not homophobia. It's just there was no room for it. Yeah.
There was so much stuff that was shot that didn't make it into the film. It was truly a non-event.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's all he
I
has.
got what I needed, bigots.
That's all I had. That's it. That's all I wanted to know about. And poor Denzel had to go kiss a dude. Just saying.
Yeah, for nothing.
It was an improv scene. I actually looked into it. Like, it was an improv moment that he did, and it was supposed to be like a Godfather kiss of death.
So, like...
But Denzel, for some reason, kind of spinned it, making it sound like they were homophobic. So, of course, now everybody's running with that.
So they got the black man to be gay in this Gladiator movie set in Roman Empire?
What's that?
There were a lot of gay men in the Roman Empire. They're like,
Is this like, are you implying the whole dress thing? Like,
Blabs? No, I'm genuinely asking that they brought in the black man to be gay. That's a bit, whatever.
I don't know. Let's talk about another failure from Hollywood. Red 1 came out this weekend. Have you heard about this movie at all, Dan?
No, what's that?
Well, it is a Christmas blockbuster starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Pine, and a CG polar bear.
How dare you? That's not Chris Pine. That's Chris Evans.
That's what I meant. Chris
Get your
Evans.
Chris's right.
Who cares? Just saying, who cares? Well, it came out and it launched and it immediately fell on its face, only making $34 million, but the film's budget was $250 million. As this person says, who thought $250 million for a Christmas movie was a good idea? You know, my 12-year-old is interested in seeing this, but I don't know anybody else who's interested in actually paying for it, because apparently this was going to come out on Amazon Prime first, and then they released it to theaters after they realized it was going to cost $250 million. Just saying.
It probably all went to The Rock's paycheck.
The Rock is not a movie star.
Very likely.
Yeah, but he makes a shit ton of money.
It doesn't make any sense because look at how his movies turn out.
Yeah, they
unless
all
he's
are
in
shit,
an
but they pay him big bucks.
Unless he's in an ensemble movie like that Jumanji movie or Fast and the Furious, like no one shows up for his movies.
The Rock tried everything he could to be the next Will Smith, and he said that with these words: "I want to be the next Will Smith." And but he followed the footsteps on that man from another age when like things worked very differently. The same thing doesn't work that well today, and that's the result.
They tried real hard to make him the next everything. Remember in that
Yeah.
it was that movie. There was an action movie he did where Arnold Schwarzenegger walks past him, goes, "They're all yours now." Do you remember that?
Right? Yeah.
Do you remember that? I forget. Was it The Rundown?
No, I don't remember the movie, but I remember people talking about that scene, and that's totally right. He was trying to be like the third guy. It was Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he wanted to be the third guy, the third action guy. And now there's The Rock. But yeah, fail.
Yeah, people are saying Walking Tall or Rundown.
Yeah. Well,
Walking Tall is actually, is that the movie where he's a cop? That one was actually pretty good.
Right.
There's Moana too, and then there's the Moana live action. That'll be interesting to see if that pulls any numbers.
I like Scorpion King.
You know what he did best? His best role is?
Let's move on.
You know what his best role is?
WWE?
The Rock.
Yes.
That's his best role. His best role is is the final boss, his most recent iteration of The Rock. That's it for sure. All right, let's move on to Twitch. Have you guys heard about everything that's happening over on Twitch over the last, really since the 5th, since Election Day? Have you guys seen all the chaos that's happening over there with they're having their own Ad-Pocalypse?
Really?
On Twitch right now.
Tell us about it.
Well, I will, Dan.
Right now.
Over 10 major companies have reportedly suspended advertising on Twitch over alleged anti-Semitism concerns.
You mean Hassan Piker and Frogan saying that they want Jews to die is anti-advertiser? That's insane.
Bro, how funny it is that the circle is complete, right? The people who called you Yahtzees, like for the past 8 years, are now being flagged for anti-Semitism. The circle is complete.
Well, I'll tell you this. It is
that Frogan chick said she wants every vet to suffer. I hope they get PSTD and piss in their beds and die. She's a piece of shit, scumbag.
Well, she's definitely one of the streamers that people have pointed to that why this is happening. Others are pointing the finger.
She's
at
also
Asmongold.
fat.
It's true. Thank you, Flash. She's also
she's Jabba the Hutt.
They're pointing at creators like Hassan. They're creating at creators like Asmongold, and it's really everybody going like, "No, you did this. No, you did this." And there was this clip being passed around last week of this kid named Lacey, and he pops up every once in a while. And by the way, we don't run advertising on our show. We don't have any sort of pre-roll or mid-roll ads. Like if you show up, it's YouTube putting them on, not us. We have the option. It's like I literally have an option on the screen right now. It says creators adopting live automated mid-roll saw on average 20% uplift in stream ad revenue per hour. Awesome. We don't do that. Like we rely on you guys.
Yeah, for the people at home who don't stream, YouTube all the time shows a notification on your stream backend, like trying to push you to run ads. Hey, now would be a good time to run ads. They try to push you all the time.
Right. Well, we don't do that.
Turn those on either.
But this apparently it's been really good over on Twitch because when you go on a stream, you get like 90 seconds or 2 minutes of ads before you even get to the stream.
It's crazy.
But this streamer named Lacey was complaining that his ad revenue dropped off from $10,000 a day to only $2,000 a day, and he couldn't understand it.
He's making more than a surgeon.
Yes, this guy is making ridiculous money. Anyways, but while we can look past the idea of the $2,000 being stupid as is, right? And let alone $10,000. The idea, though, is that he's lost 80% of his ad revenue. And that's the bigger thing. Because if it's happening to him, it's happening to the people who are streaming to considerably less people than this guy. But like I said, there's a lot of fingers being pointed along the way. And let's check this out for Asmongold, pointing this out over here.
Hassan clearly is like one of the biggest proponents of this. I would say he is the biggest proponent to a lot of the contention around the, quote, Ad-Pocalypse. He's the main reason why this is like 90% of the examples that are being used are him. Like, or maybe not 90, it might be 80, 70%, but it's like the majority of all examples on the entire platform are all Hassan.
Ding, ding.
Yeah. Very clearly, this is the reason why it's happening. Now, you can say that it's unfair, but that's fine. That's okay. But you can't say it's not happening or that's not the reason.
Hassan Piker brought a literal terrorist onto his stream and promoted him.
What was interesting, Asmongold had Ludwig on his screen here because apparently Ludwig did a reaction or was talking about this. And I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I actually had a run-in with Ludwig about 6-7 years ago, back when I was at Game Attack and Ludwig hadn't blown up yet. He actually came to our studio at Game Attack and he said he was in town, but he wasn't. He actually flew to our studio to be on one of our shows and produce some stuff. And it never ended up airing. And he got super mad that it never aired. And we had no idea that he drove. I think he flew down to be a part of it. We had no idea. And had we known that, we certainly would have edited it and ran it together. But he has held that grudge since then. But man, okay, fine, hold that grudge. But look at what he's doing here in this situation where he's talking about this, where he's actually been caught editing the video of him avoid blaming Hassan for the Twitch Ad-Pocalypse. Now, this is going to be Destiny reacting to the video before it was edited. Okay, so I just want to pay attention to what's happening here.
Right. So there's currently in Twitch world a piss match, right? Hassan is blaming Asmongold for the Ad-Pocalypse for teaming up with
it's the guy who lets other men fuck his wife.
That's right. That's right.
Great.
So, but pay attention to how this comes together here.
Apocalypse for teaming up with people who he says started it. Mizkif is blaming Hassan, saying that everyone who does politics should be outright banned. And Asmon is
looking at me and blaming me. I want to say you're welcome.
Taking blame himself and probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time, if I had to guess.
This is one of the most insane sweeps I've ever seen in my entire life.
There's
okay. So that was the first part of it. I want to play this for you one more time.
With people who he says started it. Mizkif is blaming Hassan, saying that everyone who does politics should be outright banned. And Asmon is...
That's the phrase you need to listen for during the after.
There's currently in Twitch world a piss match, right? Hassan is blaming Asmongold for the Ad-Pocalypse for teaming up with people who he says... And Asmon is...
looking at me and blaming...
Like a blatant cut right there on the video.
Me, I want to say you're welcome.
Taking blame himself and probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time.
So did you see what he did there? He actually went in this statement in particular.
Everyone who does politics should be outright banned. And Asmon is
looking at me.
Gold for the Ad-Pocalypse for teaming up with people who he says started it. Mizkif is blaming Hassan, saying that everyone who does politics should be outright banned. And
so he took that completely out of the statement right there. He said Misfit is blaming Hassan for this, and the fact that he went in and totally deleted that out of the video really makes it seem like he's going to bat for the situation. By the way, Dan's scaring me right now with his crazy eyes. Blabs, you got anything on that? What are your thoughts on him editing that video to remove that?
Oh, it's just all part of the agenda. That's all. Everyone has an agenda.
What's his agenda? Protect his friends?
A tool bag.
To protect his friends?
Yeah. Well, no, instead, I understand protecting friends, but at the same point, you'd be like, well, no. If he's wrong, he's wrong. I'm like, we're still friends, but this is wrong, kind of deal. So.
Right. Well, Flash, you got anything on that?
I like how they always complain about people complaining about DEI when we're at the point now where we're winning so bigly.
So bigly?
Stop talking about it now that we're winning. No. Because it's clearly being effective.
Hippo came in and says Ludwig deleted a video where he criticized Hassan, then got DM'd. He had no balls and made a video of this one DM. Ludwig is a child and rides Hassan. Right. Soul Silver came in and says it's hard to sympathize someone that went from making $10,000 to $2,000 from ads by just doing nothing when most hardworking people can't get close to $2,000.
You're very blessed and you're making more than a surgeon.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
How lucky are you? 100%.
Exactly.
Rebound says Ludwig is a weasel, always has been. Even when I met him, he did kind of strike me as kind of slimy, you know? Hippo came and says just waiting for James Bond in a wheelchair, but he would actually do cool stunts like grinding rails, maybe even some wheel food, chair do, legless style martial arts, maybe even have guns on it. Let's go. I like what you're going there, Hippo. I like it. It's good stuff. All right, let's keep on moving on. Hey, I saw this over the weekend. Do you guys remember the show Electric Playground back from the late 90s, early 2000s? Do you guys ever heard of that show, Dan? No? Well, Electric Playground was done by Victor Lucas and Tommy Tallarico back in the day. And they were hosts of the show, and they had a bunch of other co-hosts. And I was watching they've started to re-upload these entire episodes from the late 90s and early 2000s onto YouTube, and it's a total trip. So I got notified about one that had one of my favorite games ever on it, NFL Blitz. And while I was watching this, I came across a clip of some video game journalism that I was like, wow, that's some video game journalism right there. And I wanted to share that with you guys. It's only 17 seconds long, but what's said in this is the approach that I think is missing very sorely 25 years later. Let's check out what this lady has to say.
I'm here with Will and John Body, the Body brothers who run Black Ops, and they're working on Knockout Kings for the N64. I played this game on the PlayStation, and I can't say that I was very impressed by it. In fact, I thought it really sucked. What are you going to be doing to make the N64 version a better game?
Like, I think that's awesome.
That's cold.
Yeah, straight
That's
up.
what it should be now.
Yes, like straight up, right to his face. Hey,
I thought your game was trash, bro. How are you
Like-
gonna make it better?
Right, and you know what? They had to sit there. Like, what are they going to do? They had to sit there and listen to her face to face, tell him that,
Look at
and
his face.
yeah, and he's like, meh. But that's what video game journalism should be. The idea that you can say, hey, I didn't enjoy this. I thought it was trash. How can we improve this? And the second part of this is they actually go in and they talk about how the mobility, they've worked on the mobility of the characters. They've made the things better in it. So the next port would actually be better. So she asked a question. She got an answer. And you know what? If I was watching that, I'd be like, oh, okay. And I'd be Knockout Kings 2000. I didn't like it on the N64, but maybe it's better on the PlayStation. I would look at that and be like, oh, that's good. Maybe I'll check it out on the PlayStation or whatever. Dan, you got any thoughts on that?
You're muted, Dan.
No, you're muted, buddy.
You're muted and you're eating a banana.
Okay. Oh no, he's doing both.
Okay, bye. He just left.
Just out the door he goes.
Hey.
There we go. But yeah, I mean, I loved seeing that, and I was like, wow, that's really great stuff. So much so I want to watch that one more time because it was so good.
I'm here with Will and John Body, the Body brothers who run Black Ops, and they're working on Knockout Kings for the N64. I played this game on the PlayStation, and I can't say that I was very impressed by it. In fact,
Look at he's just smiling. Okay.
I thought it really sucked
See how quickly his smile changed? He's over there smiling. Listen to it.
by it. In fact, I thought it really sucked.
Can you hear me
What
now?
are you going to be doing?
We got you, Dan. Gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
What are your thoughts on Knockout Kings 2000 and the journalism happening on Electric Playground in the year 1999?
It was pretty cool. It's like it makes the game designer depend on the journalist and not the opposite. Nowadays, it's the opposite. Like the access journalism, we depend on the goodwill of the corporations. But what this young lady did right there is demonstrating the opposite. Hey, you are the ones who depend on me, motherfuckers.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Well, what's also happening is, so in that episode, just out of sheer giggles, they had an NFL Blitz tournament, but it was just for the media back in the day in 1999. And you know who won it? Who is still in the games media 25 years later? Geoff Gertzman won the NFL Blitz tournament, formerly of Giant Bomb. Now he has his own podcast. So that was actually kind of interesting to see. Geoff Gertzman still around in 1999. Blab, do you have no idea who that is, do you?
No.
No, you don't. That's okay.
Me neither.
Anyways, well, he's been around for a while. Been
But I'm
around for a
presuming.
good while. All right, we have an arrest. Blabs, you wanted to talk about this story. This is from Niche Gamer. Happened. Blabs, explain what's going on here.
I don't know. What arrest? Oh. I was like, what are we talking about? Okay. A British teenager has been arrested over a Counter-Strike knife. Now, please note, even the article says it, that the image was upscaled with AI for clarity, so that's not exactly what it looks like. But basically, this man, or 18-year-old boy man, tried to import this, and he ordered it, and the UK police are like, nope, and they arrested him for this knife. So shout out Counter-Strike. for the knife, I guess. That's it. It's like a quick hit.
That's
well, you can't really
insane.
you can't have knives in the UK anymore, can you?
No, they're horrible. That's how people get stabbed. Even butter knives, you can't have those either.
That's how people get stabbed. You can't have knives,
so,
especially
I mean,
not cool-looking knives.
Listen. Criminals are never gonna find another way to hurt someone. Never. No.
It's not like a knife is a hard thing to even make.
No, and when I think of like UK, I think of swords and stuff. You know, like that's.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like Shad over there making swords and with mail, with armor and whatever.
He's Australian.
Wait, they banned knives in the UK?
Shad's Australian?
This is so embarrassing right now.
He has some accent. I don't know. It's not American.
Yeah, it's Australian.
Dan's also
He's been on the
from
show.
Europe.
We've asked him about his accents before.
Dan's
English.
from Australia too, right, Dan?
Sure.
Right, Dan? That's right, Dan. That's right.
Yeah.
So is
The
Flash.
UK is
Dude,
cucked.
this is so embarrassing.
You can't even post on Twitter without going
do
to
you
jail
want?
in the UK now.
Shad's Canadian, apparently. Chad just told me it's from Canada.
No.
What do you want? It's not my job to keep track of where everybody is. Like, all I know.
You can't just hear accents.
No, we
God,
very
you gotta
much.
get out more, Craig. Whew, okay, it's fine.
I do got to agree with Blabs. He's very Australian. There's a very Australian accent that he has.
Yeah.
What? Shad?
Listen, Craig,
He
Craig doesn't even
sounds
know there's
like
different
that-
type of accents.
He sounds like that crocodile guy.
Yeah.
Wait, don't.
Steve Irwin? Don't
That's
even
not
call
a
him that
sword. This
crocodile.
is a
Hold on.
sword.
Don't all Europeans say "Good day, mate"? No, I'm just kidding. Did you see Blast's face?
I'm not associated with Stuttering Craig anymore.
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Blast. Appreciate that. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Some people are not wanting to associate with the first Descendant. I don't know if you heard the news about this, Dan, but we are back, baby. We are back at going to bounding into comics as the first Descendant announced plans to add jiggle physics to the game, which prompted outrage from critics. Like, quotes, gamers are the most pathetic incel losers there are. Flash, did you see this story?
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. A lot of these people, especially the men that write these, you can tell they've never actually touched women because women are pretty jiggly.
Yes. So they decided to do this, which was just so wonderful. And you could see...
Oh, Megan, big shocker. Megan, in quotes, those flags there.
Gender Defender 5 over here.
It's one of the 5 gender defenders.
Yes, and I got to be honest, Blabs, how does... I don't have to be honest.
It's the person who not only role plays on Twitter, but they role play in real life playing pretend.
Hey.
I'm just saying, right.
What question ails you, Craig?
Well, when you see Gender Defender 5 over here, who clearly has some issues, wants to talk about...
5 can't even decide what gender defender is.
Okay.
These are the people that get mad over like women being sexy because they'll never be sexy. They'll never. Never mind. I don't want to go too hard.
Okay.
This
well,
is funny.
Yes, but it's interesting to see. You can see some of the responses here. This one here from this TNAP here. Let's play the game. Pronouns or no pronouns for this person. Dan Vask, does TNAP have pronouns in their bio? Dan is muted. He's thinking about it. He's still muted.
I think he's whispering to himself.
Dan Vask, still muted. I think he's leaving. Yellow Flash, let's go to you. Does TNAP have pronouns in his bio?
Possibly.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You are correct. TNAP does indeed have he, him in
Check.
bio.
Can you hear me?
There you are, Dan.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening.
All right,
I was
let's go.
going to say yes. I was going to say yeah, pronouns in bio.
Okay. Sounds
And
good.
he even has Funko Pop collector in his thing. So, I mean,
Let's
definitely
go
a bundle of sticks.
Let's go next to that redacted guy over here with his tweet, Incel's version of Destiny. Does that redacted guy have pronouns in his bio Blabs?
Not only that, I'm going to guess autism, some kind of neurodivergent.
Now. Listen, I think he's he, him.
Think it's he, him? Okay, sounds good. Any other virtue signaling for bonus
Autism,
points?
some kind of neurodivergency.
Neurodivergent.
There's definitely some kind of virtue signaling, even pronouns or Black Lives Matter. There's something there. Absolutely.
Dan Vask is right. He, him,
Let's
BLM,
go!
TLM.
All right.
Bonus points for hashtag Free Palestine right there.
Hey.
Listen, the children in your fan story don't count.
And let's go to this last one over here. Let's go to Foul Trash. Foul Trash. Last one. Chat. This one is a little bit different. All right, but we'll give you an opportunity. Does Foul Trash have pronouns in their bio?
I think Foul Trash might be autistic.
Okay. Flash? Does Foul Trash?
I'm going to say it again. Some kind of autism in the bio, something like that.
And Blabs.
Yeah, I'm going to go with some sort of progressive message in there. But if he's trash, they, them.
Well, Foul Trash just doesn't really understand. He just put
What?
oops. Just
Oops. Been bamboozled.
just totally confused. Doesn't even understand how to do it at all. But either way, people are definitely upset at the idea of attractive women have any sort of jiggle in their games. But good on the first Descendant for pushing back on the insanity. We're back, boys. We're back. Ready to go.
I've heard good things about the Descendant. I just never picked it up, but I've heard lots of positive stuff. Like, besides the fact that the women actually look good, like it's a fun game to play.
Yep. All right, well, let's go to this last story over here. Actually, we got a couple more. We've been flying through today, which is great. Guys, thank you very much for your support. By the way, Joey came and says, Knockout Kings 2000 was the best on the N64. Changed my mind. Well, you better talk to that girl about it. She was not happy about it. Taker came in and says, hey, Flash, how about Sam Smith as Ivankov in Opla? He's pretty much that character in real life now anyways. He wouldn't have to change the thing.
Who's Sam Smith? Let me look up.
Oh, you know Sam Smith. I wish I could see your face when you find it.
It's too fat.
Too fat. Norm came in and says, stop objectifying women. Women that look like Jabba the Hutt. There you go, right.
Women that were never objectified in their entire lives.
John came in with a 5, says, sorry, Craig, but does your Game Awards have a flute guy whose flute is bigger than his entire body? Geoff has got you there. That's true. He does. He does. We are not planning any musical acts this year, but maybe just for fun, we get a flute guy, because why not?
Fun fact, I know how to play the flute.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I can play the flute, piccolo, and a couple other ones.
Nice. Thank you for that, Blabs. So let's,
but I will not be playing, sorry.
No, we should hire you for that.
No, I haven't picked it up in years, so no.
Blabs.
I can play a little bit of the ocarina.
What's it going to take?
We can play it together.
A couple $1,000s.
That's not bad.
Dan? What's it going to take? All right.
The same. That's not bad.
Oh, dang. Okay, sounds good. Jesus. You guys are ridiculous. All right, let's go to this last story.
I actually judge other people when they play the flute because there's a whole thing where there's like an in-line, out-of-line pads on the flute. And I'm like, you're just fake.
She's a flute elitist.
I know. Did you hear that?
I have the in-line one, which is a lot harder on your fingers. So, ha!
A lot of skin flute jokes in the chat right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop talking.
Blabs, can you pull out your flute, please?
No.
Dan will pull out his.
No.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where mine is.
I know where
Mine's
is, but
always
I
out.
wouldn't be able to get it right.
That's pretty much what happens is Flash gets his coffee and he sits down at his desk and you just hear...
Right.
Hey, the Grateful Gamer came in as a brand new member. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. That is great. Man, I really like this black background. It's a shame it took us two years to do this, but
You're
that's
welcome.
good. It's good. Nice. I like that. Really, really pops.
It's been 2 years?
No,
Almost.
2 years coming up in February.
Bro.
You have any band camp stories?
I actually have been to band camp, but the thing is, it's during the day. I didn't sleep over anywhere, and I was literally standing around for 8 hours marching around because it was marching band practice. That shit is hard, man.
That's not the stories people were looking for, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm a well-behaved person, so I don't have any of those weird stories.
The flu players usually are.
Yeah.
Well-behaved?
Yeah.
Except for the one in American Pie, because
she put a bad rep.
yeah. I don't want to hear about that. All right, let's go to this last story here. Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming in February. We all know that. Actually, I think it's going to launch. I think it's actually going to launch on our second birthday stream. February 15th, I think, is the second.
No, it's Valentine's Day.
February 14th. So it'll be like a Valentine's present for us.
The day before our 2-year anniversary.
Okay, first question. Do you think that game actually is released on February 14th? Do you think it'll actually hit the release date, Blabs?
Yep, 100%.
Flash?
Yeah. Even though it's going to get crushed by Monster Hunter.
Dan?
Released is a strong word, right? It's like...
What are you talking? Released is a strong word?
Yeah, because listen to me. Are Ubisoft games ever released when they say they are released? I mean, those games, when they are released, they are half done. Ubisoft games always have been, like for a decade. So,
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, but is it launched that day?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it will be a buggy mess.
They have no choice at this point because
They're saying this one's polished.
Oh, it will be.
Really?
Yeah, they were going to polish it up. That's what they're saying.
They have no choice but to release it on the 14th because they've canceled all the pre-orders. They've done all this stuff. They've canceled everything. It's costing them so much money that they have to release this. It's probably a tax write-off. But like, we're sorry, this is shit. Maybe we'll get a Gollum Chat GPT apology.
Well, we have this story from Fandom Pulse, which is John Trent's new stomping grounds over there. It says Assassin's Creed executive producer admits Ubisoft does not know where players are and how the company can reach them. Which
they're just not playing Ubisoft games.
Yes, they're playing everything but Ubisoft games. So, Assassin's Creed executive producer Mark Alexis Cote recently admitted that Ubisoft does not know where players are and does not know how to reach players with its games. During the Q&A portion of an interview at the XDS24 conference, Cote was asked how external development will affect Ubisoft for the next 3 to 5 years. He responded with, "I think we're in an era of peak change. I don't know what the industry is going to look like in 5 years, but clearly we're transforming. And I think it can create anxiety. I see it as a challenge that we need to solve together because whether it's the AAA or even in the more indie spaces, the recipe for success as it's been in the maybe last 20 years is dramatically shifting."
I agree. We're shifting away from samurai games starring George Floyd in Japan.
Yes. But guys, also, you hire enough DEI people who have nothing to do with video games, but they're hired because of the color of their skin, their sexuality. What's gonna happen? Your company will be out of touch with the gaming industry. That's what we're seeing happening today.
Dan, I think your mic is a DEI hire.
What?
It keeps popping out, doesn't it?
But you can't hear me?
No,
we can now.
We got you, buddy.
Okay. Just let me know. I have no idea what's happening today.
Is it your browser by chance? Like,
it's okay.
I don't know.
Well, so he talks about, he says, so we still have to innovate. We need to control our costs because they have ballooned clearly over the last 5 years. That's something that we've seen. Obviously, we see these games that are $250 million, $300 million, in some cases, $500 million. Like, what are we doing with these development costs? How are these supposed to make any money? It's not even close. Because next he shared how the company does not know where players are and does not know how to get them to play their games. He said, "We need to find where players are," which has been a question I've been asking for the last 2 years. Where are players? What are they playing? Where do we reach them? All this will become clear in the coming years as our industry transforms along the way, Blabs. Hit it.
I don't have the bell with me.
Oh, no, what happened?
Well, because I don't like keeping it on my desk.
Okay.
I'll just hit it and go ding.
Well, Flash, I think you bring up a really good question. Is it a matter of them not knowing where the players are, or the players not caring where they are? Does that make sense?
They don't care. People are done with this shit, man. And you're seeing it big time right now because, I mean, just look how the election went. Can't tell me that people are not tired of this shit.
I think there's definitely a realization across the industry, but I don't think that people are understanding they have an idea, like they're close, but they're pointing the finger at the wrong thing. And they're pointing, I've said this before on the show, but it's the old saying where you point your finger at one thing and you have like 3 more pointing back at you, right? And I think that's probably the biggest issue here with the industry. Everyone's pointing their finger at everybody else without looking internally.
Yeah.
So much so that IGN had a post over the weekend where they were kind of a part of this, where you look at it and you're like, I first saw this and I was like, oh man, IGN, do they get it? Are they starting to understand it a little bit? And then when you dig into this a little bit more, you're like, oh no, they have no idea. And this post was this. It said, the Blockbusters game bubble has burst here. And I'm like, whoa, man, that's crazy. And we have pictures of these games that have just absolutely blown up. Concord, right? Suicide Squad. We got these games here. But when you actually look at the article itself, everything about it, it doesn't have a single mention of any of the complaints from people who are actually buying the games, the customers themselves. It did, it talks about high cost, and we all understand that. It talks about people losing their jobs, right? But once again, why are they losing their jobs? It's because people aren't buying the games. The costs are too much, right? Why are these studios shutting down? And that's the big thing, is the games cost too much along the way. And the idea of a lack of innovation, reflects a deep-rooted fear to engage with anything new or original along the, new or original. I didn't say it.
You said it 2 seconds before, though.
I didn't say it, though.
Yeah.
But I was like, I read that and I was like, man, so close. You're so close, yet so far. Dan, why do you think the industry is failing? Is it as simple as they're just not listening to the customer?
Yeah, man, definitely out of touchiness. By the way, how do I sound? I'm still popping?
You sound great.
Okay. Definitely the out of touchiness, out of the DEI hiring. Like you're just filling the industry with people who don't care about the industry, with people who don't care about video games. And that's bound to happen. The industry will start moving away from the customers. And I think that's what we're seeing today. And it's a process to go back from there. I really don't know how you do it. I mean, in the mainstream, because in the indie side and on the eastern side, Japan, those Korean games, Chinese games, they are fully in touch with what the gamers want, what people enjoy, what people buy. But the West to come back from the damage that DEI hiring on the video game industry made, I don't know how we come back from that.
So I found the person who actually wrote this article. This guy is named Seb Astley. And Seb, formerly of Polygon, formerly of Rolling Stone UK. This was his first article for IGN. This is for my IGN debut. I took a step back from the numerous issues plaguing the current top end of the video game industry and found a few interesting lines to connect everything. I got to be honest, he didn't connect a single one. The article's just like, things cost too much. But I feel like he totally missed the point. It's like so close yet so far. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face, or whatever that saying is. I don't know. I don't know how you can just. There's a metaphor in here that I don't know what it is. The old bring your horse to water thing, and I feel like we're trying to bring.
You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
Right, and I feel like that's what we're doing here with video game journalists. It's like, it's right here. Everybody's telling you it's right here. Why won't you just drink the water? It's right there. The water's fine, and it's good. It tells you everything you need to know. And it's like they're plugging their ears and saying, no, 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 no.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that.
Exactly. I fully agree with everything you just said.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that.
That's what means.
All right. Well, we have more layoffs, just not just in the video game space, but unfortunately, the more access media, who I always thought this media outlet was fairly down the middle until the last 4 or 5 years. And then I'm talking about the Associated Press, as they have cut 8% of their staff through layoffs and layoffs to accelerate digital news strategy here. So they've cut 8% of their staff. Bada bing, bada boom. More journos on their way out. Blabs, you wanted to talk about this?
Not a whole lot. I just listen. It's always sad when there are layoffs because that means people are losing their money.
Not with these people. Fuck them all.
Well, let's try
fuck
to
game
have some
journalists.
empathy.
Fuck journalists. They're all pieces of shit. They have done more damage to this country than anybody else. I hope they all fucking live in a car on the street.
That's a terrible way to look
Flash,
at
how do you really feel?
Fuck all these people. They're all trash, anti-American pieces of shit who have done
Okay.
nothing but divide people over the past 8 years. They're scum, and you don't hate them enough.
They've been brainwashed.
Okay.
Flash,
I have kind of a middle ground. It depends on the person. I definitely don't have a problem with certain people having no jobs. But I wouldn't say everybody.
Yeah, I'm on that side. Like, listen, it's always sad that people lose their money, but it's like if you really deserved it, you would be able to find another job, no problem. If you have skills, you can
That's
easily
true.
get another job. But the point I was trying
Make
to
my
make,
coffee, motherfuckers.
Yes, make Flash's coffee. The point I was trying to make is that like all these companies are going out of business because
Good.
they're no longer reliable. So
All of them are scum. They were editing out the Trump dance. There was, I forget the team.
That's crazy.
But there's a team that did a Trump dance during a touchdown or a win in the NFL. They were fucking cutting that out so it didn't get seen by people watching on TV. Fuck all of them. They did it to themselves, and now they're going to pay the price. Fuck them.
Let
bit
them know,
SJW,
Flash.
to be honest.
I don't care. Fuck all these people. They can burn.
That's the same attitude they have about you. How is anything
Good.
gonna
We
get
should fight
fixed?
fire with fire. I'm sick of them. Fuck them.
Soy. Just saying, that's a soy attitude about it.
I don't know. I mean, the idea of you try to be, you get to a point to where your tolerance is used as a weapon, right? And that's how we got to where we're at.
I have no tolerance for them anymore.
Well,
They're all pieces of shit scum. Remember when they tried to cancel that kid at that game because he had red and black, but they didn't show that he had red and black? These people know what they're doing. They're all shit. They're all scumbags. They would kill you if they could. They run around beating people with hammers and putting bike locks in bags. All of them have that same Antifa mindset. They're all scum, and I hate them. And I'm not the only one. Most people hate them as well now. This is why during election night, YouTubers were getting all the views. The election night coverage crashed.
I don't think every journalist runs around with a bike lock in a bag ready to hit somebody. I just think that the ones that are the loudest, it's just, it's a squeaky wheel mentality. The idea of the squeaky wheel gets noticed or whatever that is. I'm not good with metaphors, but I do think that there's definitely been a slant for sure with all journalism. And I think that's been the eye opener across the board for me with the AP was I was like, oh, the AP is fairly down the middle. And then I saw what happened, for most people, COVID was like the great awakening for a lot of folks. And they saw how certain things were presented. And then you saw, I remember hearing the first time you hear the phrase fake news and you're like, what? Like that sounds crazy. And then it was like, oh, okay, you know what? They're right. Because I have been in newsrooms before and I have seen agendas pushed and I have seen, well, we are going to talk about this, but we're not going to talk about this. And if we do talk about this, this is how we're going to talk about that. Right. I've seen that before, and I've seen agendas from bosses and corporate being pushed. So, and especially with all these major outlets being owned by, much of the same company, it makes sense that there's a corporate message which trickles down to all the local outlets or the reporters. So it's a mess, man. And I will say this, I don't like when people lose their job, but the journalism as a whole, and Elon Musk said this best, everybody is the reporter now. Everybody watching this is the news now. The idea that you can go out and be journalism just by picking up your phone and posting it on X and raising awareness of it. You don't need a degree to be a journalist. There's a photojournalist. There's all sorts of different types of journalism that's out there. And X is the platform for that. And you see all the traffic that was going to AP at one time is now going to X. And X is having its biggest months ever, despite this mass exodus of people to Blue Sky or Threads or whatever it is that they're going to. X is the king platform right now, and will continue to be the king platform for the foreseeable future, just because of that mentality. So,
did you see that Blue Sky post? Because they're all migrating over there. A new peak in reporting on each other.
What?
40,000 reports in one day. And they said, well, to show you a comparison to this, we only had 300,000 for the entire year last year. 300,000 for the entire year. All these people migrate to Blue Sky, and they're all reporting each other now.
That's funny.
That's spectacular.
But it's interesting how the existence of something like X also influences other platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, because now they're the things that they're doing that are not fair are putting onto the light. It's like it's like a sore thumb, like it shows up. And with the existence of X is very beneficial, not only because of itself, but because of all of that, how the way it influences others to, hey, we cannot be that obvious anymore, which is a great thing.
Well, the old light makes the roaches scatter.
There you go.
That's the old idea.
Yeah.
So, Norm came in and says, "Look at me, I'm the journalist now." That's right.
I'm the journalist now.
That's right. Elon says, Elon didn't say we are the news first. Q did. Who's Q? Like
Q
QAnon?
from Star Trek?
No, I don't know.
I think you might be talking about he was banned off of YouTube, but there was a political streamer, YouTube guy. And they banned him because he was too based.
Lazy Clown came in and says, I'm signing up for the Real Game Awards now. We literally have Stellar Blade, Zelda Echo of Wisdom, the Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, but they'll nominate DLC and a poker game for Game of the Year. That's right. You can use promo code SIDESCROLLERS to get $5 off your annual membership over there. Really appreciate that, Lazy Clown. Once again, open up a new tab right now. We'd really appreciate that. I think we're going to get to 1,000 voting members before this voting season is over for sure. Nathan says, if you do a bad job, you should be fired. If your job involves destroying the fabric of society, you get no sympathy, no second chances, no redemption arc. I have had enough of these bloggers.
Done with them. Nathan. They wish death on us all the time. Fuck them.
Gusium says, not a journalist, not all journalists, guys. That's right. I'm not. Ravacopter says, go off, Flash.
Hey, pull that up. I have that if you want to show that real quick. There's a really good account called Libs of Blue Sky posting this shit. You want to show that?
Sure.
I put it in the private chat.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
That's what we got. Yes, this is the Libs of Blue Sky.
Oh, I was off. It's 42,000. Sorry.
Oh, well, a lot of triggered people over on that Blue Sky, the safety net. So, Bullet Shepherd says, I don't understand why it's a soy mentality to call out people for being scum. They laughed at you when you couldn't visit your dying relatives during Coof. They'll happily lock you up.
That's not what Flash said.
They'll happily lock you up for your vote. I don't know. You want to go into more in depth on that, Blabs? Or
No, he said fuck every single one of them. And that's not the correct attitude because not everybody was like that. Some people were just doing their jobs, which I understand is kind of a
Just
shitty
like the Nazis
excuse.
when they did their jobs, right, and killed
Yeah,
people.
except that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm not referring to Nazis. Let's not be extreme.
I'm just
here.
using it as a comparison. Well,
it's
they
a
are
shit
extreme.
Comparison. No,
They
if
are
somebody
Nazis.
listen, if somebody was forced to do stuff, write an article, whatever, it's not the exact same thing as being a Nazi. Let's be real here.
Well, they
One's
call us the
murder,
Nazis all the
one's
time,
not.
so
No, I'm
Let's just
sorry.
move it
I
back
will not
over.
agree with you on this. It's very hypocritical.
and that's why they're going to keep putting their thumb on you.
No, they're not.
Okay.
I have a mind of my own.
Let's have mercy now that we're winning.
I'm
Fuck all
not
these
giving
people.
them mercy. I'm just saying it's shit to give grief to every single person who gets laid off. And what if they were unjustly laid off? What if they're actually hard workers at the AP or whatever?
Well, then they should call out their friends who ruined their reputations.
Okay, but that's not what you said before. You said fuck every single one of them.
Well, I think the idea of like
Casualties of war.
Okay.
That's a bad take, man.
All right.
What is?
Casualties of war? That's
No.
not an argument. Don't do that.
Well, I think that's the beauty of our show is everybody can have different opinions about it. And we can still talk about it like
No, but I
fucking
understand
adults.
where Flash comes from. I definitely understand it. It's definitely an emotional time to be alive, and it's very difficult to show mercy after what's been happening. I understand where he comes from, but yeah, it's a hard subject.
Well, I understand. I certainly understand the pushback on it for sure. All right, well, let's go and finish up with one last. Oh, where'd that last one go, Blabs? There was
The super. I put that in for tomorrow. I didn't think you want to talk about it,
Well,
but
let's
it's
get to
also
it.
in the private chat.
Oh, okay.
Mister.
Well, I can't find that. It's way too.
It's this right there. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, pull it up.
So James Gunn has confirmed DC is working on multiple R-rated projects, and I'm just gonna put it out here. I think this is extremely stupid because they're so creatively bankrupt.
R-rated Superman, and like DC stuff. Imagine that. R-rated. I can imagine Batman being R-rated, but other than Batman, what else on DC could be R-rated?
It's probably Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
That's right. Yeah.
But I just find it very creatively bankrupt because they like, and here's my whole thing. I've been having this argument with myself all weekend long about who is the worst company for creativity, Marvel, like Disney, or DC, or Warner Brothers, because at least with Disney they were able to build up the MCU, but like Warner Brothers was never even able to do that for DC at all, and they just keep throwing things out there, seeing what will stick. Oh, let's make it R-rated. Let's reboot Superman. Let's do this. Let's do that. And they don't even try to like flesh things out and like give things time. They're like, oh no, it's not working. We'll try something else. It's like, oh, that was just one movie, bro. But okay. So yeah, quick hit.
Cool. TK says the L Wing will have a hard time winning because of the loss of trust in the journalist unless our right wing f's up the economy. Yeah. Mercenary says there's no such thing as QAnon. It is Q and the anonymous people on the board. I don't even know what any of that means.
I have no idea what this is.
But there was a guy. His name was Q, so I thought who they were talking about, but I guess not.
Yeah. Costanza came in and says you don't hate journalists enough. You think you do, but you don't. Aaron McIntyre. Speaking of journalists, we will be having we do have a best and worst journalist award over at
Oh, really?
yes, at therealgameawards.com.
That's
promo
great.
code side scrollers. Yes. And I will say this. One journalist has been I think it's going to be a landslide for worst journalist this year.
That's tough. A tough choice, man.
There's a lot.
Oh, Lister McCunty wins.
Based
thought
off
of her.
the nominees.
Yeah, I thought of her.
Just based off the nominees. But hey, I don't vote, so we'll see. But we will have multiple nominees because there are quite a few up for grabs this year.
But Alyssa is the first name that comes to mind. I agree with Flash.
Who else is there?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know yet. We haven't finalized the nominees. People are still nominating, but I can tell you right now on our run sheet, there's or on our Google Drive Excel that we're working on. There's probably a list of 8 or 9 folks on that list.
Oh, Ethan Gach. You got to put that guy in there too. He's a big cancel hog.
It's not about me.
Hey.
It's not about me. It's about if people nominate them. So
I think Alyssa will win. Alyssa Mercante, is that how you pronounce her?
I call her Mercanti.
Yeah, I want to say it wrong on purpose.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Mercanti.
I
So
purposely do.
I think she's the first name that comes to mind because she's the very definition of an anti-celebrity, someone who is infamous.
Yes.
And it seems she goes out of her way to be perceived as that. So I think my money would be on her.
Well, I guess we'll see. But remember, we do have a best journalist as well. And I'll say this, based off the nominees, it's been very interesting to see who has been nominated for that and who hasn't been nominated for that. Entire swaths of traditional video game journalists are being excluded by the gamer, which has been very intriguing. So, all right, we got some great support today, guys, and we appreciate it, including the Real Game Awards, who bought an American Pride cap and more merch. Just can't wait to vote. God Emperor Trump protects. All right, thanks so much, Real Game Awards. And Delta says, imagine if Blabs said it was soy to say trans women shouldn't compete with women. Some men really identify as women. They worked hard to compete at a woman's level. Thank you, Delta. Appreciate that. Blaz, why don't we get to some super chats here, starting with Butter Framed in Gold.
All right. I don't even know where that is. Oh, okay, there it is. Dan, the average life of a car battery is 3 to 5 years, so the cell could be going bad.
Indeed.
Let me get these.
I have that car for 2 years.
Yeah, while you pull those up, also let's take a look for Flash to see if there's any specifically for Flash.
Okay, well, I was going to go through Rumble. Never mind.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Fire away.
Well, no, it's just I can't, Rumble's stupid, man. Rumble, get your shit together. I can't find
Stupid.
I can't find all the super chats in one spot, and I got to scroll. So.
You got to use that plugin. Do you guys use that?
There's a Rumble plugin?
There's a plugin that will let you have all the super chats in a window.
No.
I'll try and find it for you.
Cool. That'd be great.
Man, I'm mad at Rumble.
Why are you mad at Rumble?
Rumble bailed out of Brazil. Like, remember when the whole thing with that Brazilian judge happened and with X in Brazil and stuff? Like, he did the opposite of what Elon Musk did, the guy from Rumble. I forget his name. But it's like, it's not that I expect him to fight the Brazilian government, but it's like when we have something beside it to compare, someone who did fight the Brazilian government and who was successful, I don't know. It makes the other one who chose to bail look bad.
Sure. Goddammit, I Want a Name came in with a 10, says, I'm with Flash because there are no innocents, not anymore. Any one of them could have stood up and said, no, we won't behave like animals anymore. Kudos to whoever gets that reference.
So I definitely see where Flash comes from, and I agree with the sentiment. But I think you should still, and I'm not saying that Flash is not doing that. I don't know. But I think you still should apply the innocent until proven guilty mindset towards that. But I definitely, I share the sentiment, man.
I'm fed up, and I'm not the only one. Tired of these people.
For sure, for sure.
All right, what do we got over there in Rumble there, Blabs? By the way, I like your lights going crazy in the background.
Oh,
and me and Blabs aren't at war, as somebody was saying in the chat. I still
no.
like Blabs.
Yeah.
It's that's the beautiful thing about being, I don't know, adults and normal men is you can have conversations and not like whether you don't have to agree on everything. You don't have to agree on an approach or anything. Like
what?
It's amazing how the word. It's like this thing called nuance and opinions, and that's what's different about our show. Is I don't want this to be an echo chamber. I've said that literally from day one. That's
Craig
why I'm
agrees with everything I say.
Well, that's true. That's true. I do agree. Listen.
I'm more of a scorched earth kind of guy.
No, and I appreciate that. Right? That's a good thing. That's what makes you Flash, for sure. Well, what do we got, Blabs?
There's nothing for Flash directly on Rumble, but there's a couple on the tube, so I'll grab those for him.
Sure.
Actually, let me just grab this one for Dan because this one they want your number, Dan.
Can I get Blabs it?
So Dan, shout out NDI wants your number.
Am I called Blabs now?
Yeah. Well, he said if not Dan at the last
Bro,
sentence.
I should show you guys some of the emails I get.
Dude, nothing would make me happier than to see the weird
You
old
should make a
ladies.
video and just put it on your channel.
Nothing would make me happier.
Dan, can we do a
Greg's
picture?
seen some of the weirdos on my Twitter.
Hey, like, how often do you get like ladies like showing off their tatas and stuff?
Oh no, that actually doesn't happen much because it's mostly ugly women.
Oh,
do you get any dick pics?
No, thankfully, never did. I mean,
Why aren't you lucky?
wait, Blabs, do you have you have your DMs open?
Not that I know.
No.
Oh.
I have my DMs open, but it's like requests
On
So-
Instagram, I do
Yeah.
that too. I always do that.
So
and
I did
made
get one once, and I just never looked ever again at my request.
So
ever.
if you wanna live a normal internet life, you should always have like a separate personal account for your family and friends. Never use your professional and your personal as the same account.
Okay, so let's see. Over on
Oh, there were
tubes-
offers to be your first dick pics. Sorry, Blabs.
for Dan. Okay, well, I was
From
gonna
me
say,
or Blabs?
No, I've
No,
seen.
it's
thank you.
for Dan. There's a couple
Yeah.
people
For
in
me?
the chat offering to be your first dick pic. They're going
Oh.
to send you dick pics.
What? Maybe I should charge for that. You
For-
can
so
pay
they
me. You can pay me.
Maybe they'll
to
get
send
off
me
on
dick
it. There are
pics.
people who are weird like that. They're like, "Oh yeah, I really want to pay you money."
You know what? There's something to that idea.
And I don't even need to look at them, and there's no way for them to know.
There's something to that. There really is. This idea that you want to, if you want to send something, like, I'm not saying, I think that's a platform. I really do. I think that's a service like
Yeah, like send me a video of you
Like
singing.
OnlyFans, Craig.
like a
Could be
cameo.
the start of a new.
It's like it's like a reverse cameo.
Yes, it's a reverse cameo to make sure you
Yeah.
say,
No
"Hey,
reverse.
I will guarantee look at your picture for $10."
I promise.
Right? You know,
It's like you can send me a video of you singing, of you. I don't know.
I think
Whatever.
I really do. I think there's something there. That's a really brilliant idea, whether you realize it or not. Dan.
Hey,
so
I'll think about it.
All right. So do we have anything for Flash?
That's just people saying that they agree with Flash, but no specific questions for Flash today.
All right. Well, Flash, we'll let you roll. I know you got some videos to get done. Dan, you're with us, whether you like it or not.
I can stay.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. All right, Flash. Tell us where everybody can find you, my friend.
Find me over at Yellow Flash and Yellow Flash 2 on
Sounds
YouTube.
Good. Sounds good.
And then
All
I
right, buddy.
have my Twitter in the handle, so that's easy to find.
Excellent. All right, buddy. Hey, have a great day. We'll see you next Monday. All right.
Good to
See
see
you
you,
guys.
Flash.
See,
All right,
hey,
see you,
it's good talking to you.
See you.
Hey.
Bye, guys.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
All right, let's get to some sport, guys. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button. We'd really appreciate that. We got a lot going on. Once again, I encourage you to open up a new tab right now. Head over to therealgameawards.com. Become a voting member. Use promo code SIDESCROLLERS. We'll begin voting coming up in December, just a few weeks away. And we got a lot going on, man. We're about to hit the ground running in a major, major way. All right, Blaz, what do we got?
Okay, let me just grab these locals because I feel like we don't spend enough love on them. Spoon Ninja says, yes, convenient. We get to hang shit on them. And I don't know what that's in reference to, but thank you. Spoon Ninja sent a meme. And Zorak just sent this in for $2. Says, Flash doesn't realize that he becomes a snake eating its own tail with that mindset. I understand how he feels, but that ain't the way, buddy. And then on Rumble, CG Hero says, I hope Drag Queen Age Failguard wins big at the Game Awards since it would further expose just how biased and irrelevant they are. Bentley Guy says, I would just walk away from this lady. Reese says, Ludwig is obnoxious and allows for a lot of bullshit to go down in the Smash community. Please reach out to a base guy named Technicals to have on your stream. He exposed a lot of creeps in the FGC.
Is Craig gone?
Scroll.
No, I'm here.
No, he just spaces out into the
I'm looking at this tweet from Niche Gamer who gave us a shout out, which is great.
Cool.
Thanks, Niche Gamer. Appreciate you guys.
Hello. Frost Lord says these movies will be rated R when I pirate them. DC doesn't deserve a single penny.
That was a good one.
Mimic for 5 says, so after Alyssa wins the Worst Journalist Award, you should name the award after her for future award shows. And that is it on Rumble. And then Joey says, Super Mario World turns 34 on November 21st. Dan has a heart attack. Scarface Strange says, Jake Paul beat the real Punch Out. Miku says, now let's play slam ball again. Who's your 4 teammates?
You know who I want as my 4 teammates in slam ball? Actually, it's 3 because it's 4 on 4. I would want me but as like before he lost his weight, right? I want as like big as, right? I want Ryan Kinnell because he's just so angry all the time, and I'm pretty sure he could murder somebody if needed. And probably
he just needs lavender.
And probably Epic Mike for diversity's sake.
Wow. All right, Josh says, if golf isn't a sport, Quidditch isn't a sport. I mean, Quidditch isn't a real sport. Let's be real. I'm sorry.
What's that?
It's the Harry Potter sport where you fly on brooms, but people actually put a broomstick between their legs and run around. And I mean, it's very athletic, obviously, because you're running around like a crazy person, but no thank you. Norm says, the real loser of this fight is Netflix and the WWE. As the AVGN would say, this stream was ass.
Shitload of fuck. Oh, did you guys saw that crazy guy on Twitter? Like blaming the AVGN?
You mean the tranny?
Yeah, we talked about that on the show.
You guys covered it?
Like me.
Bro.
Norm
crazy.
says, women's lacrosse is also fun to watch. I know, because my sisters played it.
By the way, James is not a Trump guy. Definitely. In his book, he definitely goes off on Trump a little bit.
Yeah, he's for sure. But like I said, I've known him for 18 years, and we never had that discussion ever. Like, why would we have that discussion? We talk video games. Like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Snake Fan says, Craig, the fact you put real on the name annoys him.
Yes, it does. It really makes him mad. It's great.
Does it though? Tamao says, Sonic U is so fun and the chip is my spirit animal. New Son of Earth says, I joined to nominate and vote for the RGA. Would Balatro count as a game of the year?
It's up to you guys.
Angela says, INC member donation for Dan Vass being on.
Hey.
Angela gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much. Memories says, the DLC
Angela.
is there for them to claim it split votes with Wukong so they can keep the award away from that. They will give it to Astro Bot, I'm assuming, or Rebirth.
Yeah. The chat's asking who's James. It's not James Hatfield.
No.
It's James the AVGN, the Angry Video Game.
Yeah, we talked about him on Friday.
Yeah.
Josh says, SH2 Remake got robbed for Game of the Year.
Silent Hill 2, yeah.
Became a member. Thank you, Tamamo. Joey says, will the Real Game Awards be streamed on YouTube?
They will. And by the way, you can take that stream and put it, restream it, go crazy,
react
to it, whatever you want, man. Like, you monetize the heck out of it. Go crazy,
That's a smart
make
move.
it your own content.
That's a smart move. I do that with my videos too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Claudex says, what's Balatro? Balatro?
It's a card game.
Snake Fan says, something of this nominees doesn't feel real. Dagmar says, respectfully disagree. Shadow of the Erdtree is its own game despite its expansion status. It's large enough to count, in my honest opinion.
A lot of people say
agree.
that. A lot of people say that it could have been like a spin-off game.
Yeah, but the thing was, it was a DLC. It was advertised as that too. It was sold as that. So, yeah.
We've had a lot of conversations about the idea of DLC versus expansion. Versus in that conversation itself, where does the line of DLC end versus expansion? There's a lot of things that can. I mean, in my mind, an expansion is DLC, right? It's all DLC, but there's also DLC, which is like, an outfit for your for your dude, right? So DLC ranges everything from your outfit to an entire giant world to explore that's 40 hours long, so
I think DLC encompasses everything. Every expansion is a DLC, but not all DLC is an expansion.
Yeah, that makes sense. I actually agree with ABD over on the YouTube side. He says, can you play it without the base game? No, and that's true.
Yeah, that was definitely a business decision, because if you made it a standalone game, people wouldn't have to pay for the base game. So it was definitely a business decision more than an artistic one.
Nathan says, Flash, one year they put Witcher 3 Blood and Wine expansion in the best RPG category at once. So of course they want to do that with SOFET.
That's another expansion.
Wine? Is that the title of it?
Yeah, that's another expansion that could as well have been a standalone game.
Alfonso says, impressions of Geoff dodged a bullet by saying he was not part of the TGA jury for the Game of the Year nominees. Vito says, totally not enabling Craig's obsession with buying domains. Ever played Zardian for SNES? It's a very fun game with some of what sad ending.
No, I've not
heard of it.
Yeah.
Main Ace Chase says, it's not bought and paid for at all. Initial says, I'm not disabled. You will be.
You will be.
Lady Gamer says, her character has to stand up and walk by the end. Can't wait to see that scene. Well,
Oh, really? That'll be fun to see.
She's a puppet.
Yeah, like she's a puppet.
She's Pinocchio. Infamous says, I need advice from some real gamers. I just bought a copy of Fatal Frame on the PlayStation 2, never before opened. Should I open it, enjoy, or keep it sealed? Buy a second one.
Yeah, buy a second one. PS2 games are not that expensive yet. I don't know about Fatal Frame.
I'll give you a better answer here in just a second.
Out.
Yeah, I'll give you a better answer in just a second.
All right. Norm says, some Hollywood exec has saved the Denzel kissing scene for private use. Oh, my.
Okay, here's my response to unboxing Fatal Frame 2. Hold it. Don't unbox it. If it's sealed, hold it. Right now, it's $125.
Nice.
Okay. David says, Geoff really needed the competition. You gave it to him, though. How does the nominations work anyways? Solon says, from Gladiator to Gland Eater, man, what dumpster fire. Ew. It's all Duggan Game says, Ludwig is part of the LA lefty streamer clique that never criticizes Hassan, who is one of them. G4 alums like Will Neff, etc. are also in that crowd. Uriah says, fun fact, Tommy T made some VGS for Sonic and the Black Knight. Thrash Vice says, Dan eating a banana isn't going to be a meme.
I love bananas.
Don't say that.
Good for you, Dan.
Norm says, I would pay money to see Razorfist interview Kojima and tear him a new one, like in this video. Benjamin says, can we confirm we live in a fash user arrested?
Ooh. Speaking of Kojima, yesterday on the 17th, Metal Gear Solid 3 turned 2 decades old.
Yes, I did see that.
Insane, man.
I missed another locals tip that just showed up. Jurhad for 5 says, howdy. Hello. Thanks for watching. Kyle says, anyone complaining about jiggle physics is outing themselves. If I'm not mistaken, DOA, especially the extreme games, had it, as well as Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur. Yes.
Mimi says, why do some think calling themselves trash is cute? Yeah, I don't know. Discrapto says, Astrobot nominated because PlayStation did pay for Concord.
It's true.
Phoenix says, we can get arrested for social media posts and comments. Never mind knives, guns in the UK. The UK PM is supposedly in Brazil today.
That's actually worse than Brazil. In Brazil, we still can have knives, and we can still post mostly whatever we want on social media.
How are you gonna? If you can't have knives, how are you gonna make your street fruit? You know, cut open your pineapples and your coconuts and stuff.
Exactly. How will I cut off my fingers?
That's right.
Kind of did that already. Thanks, Crazy T. All right. Cristiano says, I can play the flute at recorder. Hire me. I'm also better Brazilian representation than Dan.
All right.
Probably. I'm the worst Brazilian.
Grateful Gamer says, Frogan, hater of U.S. veterans, she'll hence be known as he Jabba the Hutt. Thanks for inspiration, Blabs and Flash. Way to own the Woke Game Awards, Craig.
Yeah, we're doing it, baby.
Aaron says, the reason they can't find players is because they are looking for the modern audience. They don't exist.
Correct. So you get
Maverick says, hi there, side scrollers. It's my wife's birthday today. Can Cynthia get a shout out for being an awesome, innocent, normal woman? My better half. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Cynthia.
Cynthia, you know, Dan Vask is here. Hold on real quick. Dan, just change really quick. You know, Dan's going to change. Okay, he's ready. Now we got a great song for you, courtesy of Dan Vask.
Happy, much happy birthday for you.
And now he's gone. Okay, when Dan changed and then you come back. Oh, he's good. There he changed back into his black. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Really fast.
Look at that. That was quick, Dan. Hey, well, happy birthday, Cynthia. Congratulations.
Yeah, happy birthday. Darren
I don't
says,
remember recording that.
That was like from like the last time you came on this summer.
Okay.
Darren says, I'm with Flash showing mercy when your win is not what got us where we are. Never said that. Grusium says, Blabs is the person opening the gates to show she's not biased and then acts surprised when the opposition becomes violent. No, you missed everything I said. Thank you, rewatch. Jagged Dan says, to quote Eric July, Dead Company, they keep trying to make DC edgy, but write themselves into corners, so then they do a twisted death fest to reboot. And Ranger says, is Craig gone? Craig is never gone. He's just along the way. I'm still waiting for along the way.
And by the way,
what's that about? Blabs keeps censoring Craig.
Yes,
I have
a big problem with saying along the way. If you watch the show, it's a crutch phrase that I have, and Blabs pointed it out last week. And
now that you're saying that,
I know you're going to hear it all the time.
He said it like 40 times in one episode the other day.
He says along the way a lot. That's true.
Quiet.
I'm still waiting for the emote, Craig. Along the way emote. Like, the chat wants it. They're all just spamming ATW.
So we're trying to help Craig to be free of his addiction.
Yes. To find another phrase to say. Like, wow, that's the craziest thing I ever heard. Mimi says, why not just make categories for DLC expansions? That would be the smart thing to do, but no.
Whoa.
For the Gaming Awards? For them to do that?
For the real Game Awards.
Well, that's this person was asking about for the Game Awards.
Well, we're working on that.
Vito says, ever saw what the Amazing Atheist does with a banana? What?
Nope, don't care to either.
And I think we are all caught up everywhere. Yeah.
All right. Except for the...
No, Spoon Ninja for $1 says, all gone that way. From locals.
Hey, the Grateful Gamer came in, Blabs, with a $50 direct donation. Says, it's sad when good journalists lose their jobs. It's exponentially damaging when an entire industry loses its integrity and morals. Never forget Flash. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Suffering leads to death. That's a quote from Yoda.
Yes.
So, thank you, Grateful Gamer. Really appreciate that. That's wonderful. Tech Support Gaming came in with the 10. Says, I usually agree with Flash, but as someone who recently got caught up in between two friends fighting, sometimes innocent people get lumped in with the perceived guilty. It sucks, especially when you're legit just trying to do right by everyone involved.
Yeah, I just care about the innocent until proven guilty principle. That's all I care.
Yep.
Delta says, well, there was that one freelance journalist, Flash. Flash might remember his name. Alyssa and him got into an argument because he was siding with the gamer over a critique of the industry. I don't recall that, but I'm sure Flash does. And John says, Flash likes Blabs until it comes to today in gaming history. Then she gets yelled at. There you go, John. We can all agree on that. No, I'm just kidding. Blabs does a great job. All right, are we caught up along the way, Blabs? Ding.
Yes.
Blabs.
I have that as an audio line.
We always have Flash
Is that
in the
Epic
back.
Mike?
No, that's Flash yelling at me
Flash?
for a gaming segment.
Sounded so much like
It's
Epic
pretty
Mike.
low. Let me boost
Blabs!
There you go.
Blabs!
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we got to get out of here, guys. Appreciate your support today. What a wonderful show it's been. Dan, where can everybody find you, my friend?
Hey, I've been streaming, going back to streaming on Super Vask 3D. I streamed with Krista the original Zelda for the Famicom, not even the NES one, the Famicom one, and we got to kill the Pole's voice by screaming at the mic. Do you know that, Craig?
Yes.
That little feature.
I saw that about you. That's great, man. I love it.
Awesome. That's so creative, man. It's a shame that they don't do that sort of stuff anymore. But yeah, Super Vask 3D and also my main channel, Dan Vask. Yeah, watch
You got any good songs coming out?
Oh, Men Buns Are Gay. It's coming out pretty soon. I lost the bet, so got to do it.
I can't wait. All right, buddy. Well, glad to have you back on the show. It's a pleasure.
Oh, it's a joy to be here, as always, man.
One of the
Always
OGs.
a joy.
One of the OGs. I love it. All right, guys. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow when we got another fully packed show. Once again, now's your time. Open up that window. Head over to therealgameawards.com. Become a voting member over there. Use promo code SIDESCROLLERS or Alyssa to get $5 off if you want. Whatever you want to do. Just get that discount for you. And get in there and start nominating and letting your voice heard. With that said, we appreciate you guys popping in. We'll see you guys mañana when we're back at it. at 11 a.m. Central Time. Until then, remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great day, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.